"There's no path to net zero without nuclear power," says ORegan. Minister of Natural Resources Seamus ORegan says Canadians have to be open to the idea of more nuclear power generation if this country is to meet the carbon emissions reduction targets it agreed to 5 years ago in Paris.
This post received a score of 7,700, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Canada already has quite a bit of nuclear power, and are experts in the design of the reactors. I'm honestly surprised there's much resistance at all to the idea.
It's really sad how demonized nuclear energy is. It's one of the safest with modern reactor designs.
The oil industry helped demonize it. Also Matt Groening by making Mr. Burns a corrupt nuclear power tycoon. As far as I can find there are countless Rockefellers, Souds, Bushes, Cheneys, Irvings, who got filthy rich from oil, but I can't find a single example of someone who made their fortune on nuclear energy.
Some of the requirements places a heavy cost on nuclear energy. For instance, the rules preventing the transportation of the waste to treatment facilities makes it crazy expensive to build nuclear power plants. Essentially every nuclear power plant also needs to have a nuclear waste handling facility attached to it. They need the cooling ponds and then long-term storage. Imagine if every restaurant needed to have a mini landfill built next to it to deal with its food waste.
I am pro-nuclear, but the rule you state seems like a reasonable safety measure to prevent transportation accidents. Transportation accidents are a given, only their probability is in question.
So happy to see someone come out and say the politically incorrect truth.
It doesn't need to be a politically incorrect truth. Reactors can be far different than what people think they are. It is just educating people on the possibilities when others in the energy and environmental sectors are actively against that. Education isn't an easy thing to do.
Maybe I have missed it in the video, but what happens to the waste sent back to the factory? They are just buried, like with contemporary bigger power plants?
The fuel in micro-reactors is not as radioactive as it is in larger reactors. Most of that fuel can be recycled either from the spent fuel already produced and stored in the ground or from larger reactors, and after it get put into service in the micro-reactors, can be cycled through them again and again. Spent fuel will be taken back and the stuff that is still radioactive can be recycled to use again in the smaller reactors. It can't be done like that in larger reactors as easily because of their need for fuel that is more radioactive.
This is amazing news to me, thank you very much. Do I understand you correctly? Does this mean that there will be no leftovers outside of the cycle?
People should really educate themselves on the latest nuclear tech. They employ passive safety methods now that make meltdowns impossible. The fuels used are also much less potent than the Gen 1/2 reactors.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.